Right, folks, we finally come to the end of the line this weekend with the big pay-per-view Backlash. I'm Kellen Nitro with the simultaneous upload on freaking Nitro TV and on Nitromaniac TV, kind of giving you my take of Backlash 2017. Just want to hit quickly on a pre-show before we start with the main card, and Ty Dillinger took on Aiden English, and both these guys are up-and-coming talent. Aiden English just fresh from the tag team scene after the split with his tag team partner Simon Gotch, who ended up getting released by the company a little bit after the SmackDown that I was in attendance for in Orlando. They actually were in a dark match, the Vaudevillains against American Alpha, that didn't. I'm trying to think if it was on main event that week or not. I didn't see any cameras around, so I don't think it was televised at all. But I thought it was a good showing by both wrestlers in that match. It's going to take some time to build Aiden English up a little bit, but I think right now is kind of a middle of the show type comedy heel. He's got that going for him. And Ty Dillinger, at the end of the event, when they talked to him on Talking Smack, kind of let it be known that he is going to put his name in the hat for the Money in the Bank, so we could probably see him in the Money in the Bank match at the next SmackDown pay-per-view, which will be Money in the Bank, I think end of June, early July. That's when that's happening. But I thought it was a great scene setter match, great opening contest to kick off the night's festivities. Now to the main card and the opening contest, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler, and that was as good of a debut on the main roster as you can get nowadays. The problem is a lot of fans were expecting more and bigger, but you're not going to get more and bigger on the main roster. You're going to get what they allow you to get, because they don't want to give you the full taste of the athlete right away, because you get that, then it's like, okay, now what else are you going to do, right? I thought this was a really good WWE matchup for like a television show. Like it was better than any Raw or SmackDown that we've seen in the previous week. But as a pay-per-view debut up there, I think it was very passable. The match quality was good. I think Ziggler was maybe the perfect opponent for Nakamura to debut against and that stuff. And now we'll see what happens. Rumor has it is that Nakamura is only going to be used sparingly on pay-per-views only, and we'll rarely see him on cable television wrestling. Now they may go back even on that and might give us Ziggler and Nakamura on Tuesday. So we'll see what happens. But I would think that unless they really want to bang up their commodity too bad with him, that he would be a factor in the Money in the Bank ladder match as well coming up. But anyways, I thought that match was A-okay. The most interesting tag team championship match I have ever seen, have seen in a few years, not ever seen, but I've seen in a few years, followed Nakamura Ziggler, and that was the Fashion Police of Breezango taking on the Usos. And I thought they kind of cheaped out a little bit with the pre-match trailer. They just reran the segment from SmackDown on Tuesday, which was very funny, but it explained what happened after. Breezango walks out with her music, and Tyler Breeze is still dressed in the janitor gimmick from Tuesday night, from head to toe, even mopping the mop. So a lot of people online were trying to say that was a little bit of a dig at Kenny Omega's character over New Japan. I don't see it. I think that this was just a continuation of a very funny storyline right now, and that's what was happening with that. And I think nothing more. I think that was just how it was. The match itself was just... I tweeted on on Twitter that it was more of a Chikara pacing where it was comedy spot after comedy spot after comedy spot, and then about midway through they woke up and was like, oh, okay, wrestling, yay. And once that started, that was insane, because we had Fandango doing topes over the top and all sorts of just dives and stuff. It was actually a really good match. It's still a very interesting match to take a look at, very enjoyable. Usos retained, but you have to sit down and watch it. It's one of those draw your own conclusion type events. I'm not sure if it was a Rembrandt. It might have been more of a Picasso than anything else, with the face kind of scattered all over the place. So you have to take a look at it and see. But hey, I thought it was one of the more enjoyable segments of the night. Following that match, we had Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin, and the match I thought was really just more standard fare to what you would see on a Tuesday night television show. Nothing really special. Sami got the win, and I would think that with that win, I would think that both him and Corbin would be in the running for that Money in the Bank match coming up. So we'll see what shakes down and shakes out of that. But hey, Sami got a win on the pay-per-view. Very rarely happens. The next match was the 6-woman tag that, again, looked like it was pulled right from Tuesday night. So nothing's really special there. The heel group, the Welcoming Committee, got the win. That second hour, after the first hour being somewhat interesting with Nakamura's debut and the weirdness of the tag title match and that stuff, the second hour to me kind of dragged on a little bit. Wasn't really a fan of that second hour. And then came the US title match between Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. I thought, again, more of the same, that it was kind of pulled right from the Tuesday night television quality of the previous hour, until they really started going towards the end of the match, and then I've really started getting into that. Then the ending, and if you haven't seen the ending, go suss it out and see it. All I can say with that is they're definitely building towards a rematch between the two, and they're going to work on an angle where AJ's knee or leg, whatever the so-called injury is, would be the center point of the feud, because I really don't think that this was a one and done. I think that they'll come back with some sort of stipulation for Money in the Bank for that US title, maybe a submission match, just saying, and there we'll get our definitive conclusion. But I figured they thought they had something real good with the two of them. They just wanted to give the fans a little bit of a taste tonight, which why you do that on a pay-per-view, I don't know, but give them a little bit of a taste and then make them come back for the next month's pay-per-view. That's probably what it was. Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper. Harper won. They both have beards. It was a Haas match. Can't really say much else. And the main event. Very interesting result coming out of the Randy Orton Jinder Mahal title match, with Mahal walking out with the WWE Championship. First of all, want to just talk quickly about the match itself. I thought that it was a very good, that was a pay-per-view quality title match that was probably pulled from the SmackDown brand from the middle of the 2000s, because you had the heel faction getting involved in the match at certain times. You have the face fighting from behind on the outside and getting rid of the faction, and then the heel ultimately, coming up as a victor. It was very JBL in the cabinet, like I had mentioned at the Payback Nitro's take that I did over on freaking Nitro TV, that this group was probably going to take a lot of pages from that same playbook that they had used in 2005, 2006-ish, that era of SmackDown, to really get over on this era of SmackDown with the new regime here of Jinder Mahal. It's great to have Jinder as a champion just locally here and around this area of town, in Edmonton, I should say, because this was a guy that we watched going up through the ranks here. He wrestled independently for a number of promotions here in Alberta, and so I've seen him a numerous amount of times last decade or so. He is the first Canadian, by the way, to hold the WWE title. I'm not talking world title, I'm talking the WWE title, since Edge dropped it to Triple H on February 15th, 2009 as well. That's saying something. That's a long time ago. Can't figure out the math right now. I think that's about almost 7-8 years ago now. Was the last time a Canadian held the belt. So good for him, right on. Looking forward to Tuesday. It's going to be great. I thought the show, the pay-per-view, ultimately was an above-average show. It really sagged in the middle. Made me feel like I was watching a Tuesday Night SmackDown more than a pay-per-view itself. But the Nakamura debut in the first hour and the comedy match in the first hour were very entertaining. And then the main event, of course, was the jaw dropper of the evening, which is kind of what you want, right? That's the whole idea of the whole thing, right? That wraps it up for right now. Be sure to subscribe to my wrestling channel, Nitromaniac TV. Come the end of the month here, beginning of June, I'll be putting up some new content over there exclusively. I will be finished with Freakin' Nitro TV as a whole. I will keep the channel up, obviously, so you can go back and revisit your favorite moments. If you have a favorite video from Jimmy as well, you can go watch some of his stuff as well on the channel, as always. But any further new uploads from me will be over on Nitromaniac TV. So click on the link below and subscribe. If you're already watching this on Nitromaniac TV, then just stay tuned. New content coming within the next few weeks or so. I'm Kellen Nitro, and that was my take on BackLash 2017. Later days.